My brothers and sisters, you are now watching the Gamer 2323, so just forget about the chores you're supposed to do. Put your feet up, get your Kool-Aid, fried chicken, popcorn, get whatever you may need! And I hope you enjoy the video.
Cyberpunk 2077 is a
Y'all want one?
role-playing game.
I keep on trying to tell people about this game, dog. I keep on trying to tell people about this game. Suckers just refuse to listen, bro. Cyberpunk 2077. Precious CD Projekt Red. The devs that can do no wrong. The top one of the not even top 5, one of the top 3 developers in the game, according to you suckers, off of one game. The creme de la creme of game developers, according to a lot of you suckers out there. Now, if I do remember, a few months ago, when the greatest game in the history of mankind came out, Last of Us 2, a little bit before that game came out, though, I remember that game was also under crunch. I don't have the best memory, but I do think I vividly remember a whole bunch of suckers acting fake mad, like, oh, they're overworking the Naughty Dog employees, like, this is not the Naughty Dog that I fell in love with, and this is wrong. And I think I remember that also for old Arthur, Red Dead Redemption 2. And here we are. Cyberpunk. CD Projekt Red, one of the top 3 devs in the game, again, according to a lot of you suckers out there. Doing crunch hours? Really? Isn't that, like, beneath these suckers? in all seriousness, I don't even care because, again, I feel like crunch is like a part of game development, especially if you have a big game. Like, and that's another thing. Well, I'll get into that later. But when it comes to like a big game that like a lot of people are waiting for, you know, like a AAA game, things like this are going to happen. Now, I said this junk before, and I'll say it again. I personally do not know why people are so hyped for this game. Again, I wasn't a fan of The Witcher 3 like that. I tried 6 different times to pick up that game and play it. And each of those 6 times, I dropped it. So I'm like, it's either me or is this something about this game that I don't like? But I do, even though I'm not a fan of the Witcher 3 at all, I am fully aware of how much content that game has, you know, the characters in the game, you know, how they had that great DLC, I think the Blood and Wine DLC, whatever. I am fully aware of like what things people like about that game so much. But again, I have never seen, since I've been playing games, how somehow, some way, CD Projekt Red has shot to the top of most people's, favorite game developer off of one game. Now here's another thing. I am getting this game, but this game does not even exist to me on current gen. When this junk drops and it comes out on, Xbox One and PS4, I don't even see that. This game does not exist to me outside of next gen. On PlayStation 5, I will cop this game, or maybe on PC, because I'm building the PC right now, and I might need y'all suckers' help on that one. So maybe on PS5 or PC. Of course, I'm gonna get Cyberpunk. It's not like I'm a CD Projekt Red hater, but it's just from the stuff that they've showed so far, nothing about this game has me hyped at all. Nothing. I've seen the trailers, I've seen the gameplay. I'm not going to say it just looks completely just trash, but the way I see suckers like hyping this game, and this is supposed to be the biggest release this year. Sucker, the biggest release this year happened already. You know what it was? I ain't gotta say its name. The only positive thing that I've seen from this game is, hey, it has Keanu Reeves in it. It's just like, listen, I'm a fan of Keanu Reeves, but if you think that's gonna be the reason why I go out and buy this game, sucker, you got another thing coming. I feel like a lot of CD Projekt Red fans are still in that honeymoon phase with this developer because of how much they liked The Witcher 3. Now again, prior to The Witcher 3, I never even heard of these suckers. I never even heard of them. And, you know, they had The Witcher 2, you know, and I guess a prior one to that. And what else these suckers do? Gwent. Gwent or something like that. Like, again, but prior to The Witcher 3, I never even heard of CD Projekt Red. But I feel like a lot of CD Projekt Red fans are still in the honeymoon phase with this developer because they love The Witcher 3 so much, and you know, they had, you know, great you know, content in that game, and the way they did the DLC and stuff like that, and the characters, like a lot of people loved what, you know, like apparently The Witcher 3, they did everything right with that game, especially when it came to the DLC. Like, the game had a whole bunch of content in it, and then, you know, a while later, then they put out the DLC that, you know, put even more stuff in the game, you know, compared to how where a game will cut out content intentionally to, you know, put out a DLC quicker. And they didn't do that with The Witcher 3, at least from what I'm hearing. So that's why a lot of people, like, you know, fell in love with this dev. But I feel like a lot of people are just still in that, like, oh my god, she's perfect phase. And, like, CD Projekt Red has not shown y'all, like, the flaws that they really have. Like, you know, when, like, you get with someone for, like, that first year or so, just like, oh man, they're perfect. They're literally everything that I want. But then the longer and longer you stay with them, you start to see the flaws. You be like, oh, so this was... You start to see a little bit of flaws that come out, and you be like, oh, I ain't know that. I didn't know this about you. So that's what I think that Cyberpunk, I think that's why so many people are hyped for this game. It's due to how successful and how much people liked The Witcher 3. Because again, from the stuff that I've seen, I don't know if I'm blind, if I'm Matt Murdock out this sucker. I have seen nothing that, like, has me like, oh my god, this game, I cannot wait for this game to come out. Again, I'm going to get it on a PS5, but I'm not. Jason Schreier said on his Twitter, last year the bosses of CD Projekt Red approached me for an interview. They wanted to announce that for Cyberpunk 2077, they would be avoiding mandatory crunch. Crunch. This week, they sent out an email to staff announcing studio-wide mandatory crunch. So, you know, again, things change, you know, this year has been crazy, but that's another thing. Because this game is supposed to come out in, what, October, I think? It's October, right? Or November? I just know I'm not getting. Will this be a launch title on next gen? Will this be a launch title on PS5 and Xbox One Series X/S? I don't even know. But if this is supposed to come out in what, a month or two, this game can possibly get delayed. And I wouldn't even be shocked, because if you guys remember last gen in 2013, we was kind of waiting for another big game at the time, which was supposed to be Watch Dogs, and Watch Dogs got delayed, and a lot of people was bummed out. Remember when, you know, when it was supposed to be, on a PS3 and then also be a launch title on PS4 and Xbox One, and Watch Dogs got delayed, and a lot of the people had pre-ordered the Watch Dogs PS4 bundle. That is a high possible chance that this might happen with this game. With how big this game is supposed to be. Again, the stuff that I've seen from it, these suckers are doing crunch now. Like, it wouldn't shock me one bit if in the next few days, week or two, you hear, unfortunately, due to you know how they always word their delay messages. We at CD Project Red want to give our fellow consumers the utmost quality of all our gaming. So, and then it pretty much towards the end, they say we're delaying the game, and I really see that as a high chance for this game. Again, this game, I think the scale of this game and just how big it's going to be, and how vast, and how much content is supposed to have. This game can definitely get delayed. I definitely see that happening. Not saying it will happen, but if they're doing crunch now and stuff like that, that means that they're running out of time, so they're trying to really, finish this game up. And sometimes, especially with open world games, that's not always the best thing to do, because, then the game might not be as polished as, they might have hoped for, or, because they're rushing to try to finish the game, things can go wrong, so I'm just saying, this game can possibly get delayed. But yeah, what do you guys think about Cyberpunk? Again, this is not me hating on the game. I just truly don't. I think people are in the honeymoon phase when it comes to CD Projekt Red. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel about it. Again, this is kind of normal. And I think we should get used to this for big games that are a lot of people are looking forward to and are supposed to have a lot of content, or triple A games, whatever. Crunch. Why is that so funny to me to say? Crunch is going to happen. It's going to happen. This stuff like this happens for big games, so it's not even really so much about that. But yeah, man, it should be interesting to see how this game turns out. But what do you guys feel about CD Projekt Red? What do you guys feel about Cyberpunk 2077? What are your thoughts, about, these recent news that have come out? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And yeah, man, I just want people to have that same energy towards CD Projekt Red that they showed towards Naughty Cox and Rockstar. Please have that same energy.